Elton John is a British singer, songwriter and pianist. Acclaimed by critics and musicians, particularly for his work during the 1970s and for his lasting impact on the music industry, his music and showmanship have had a significant impact on popular music. Born March 25, 1947, age 77 years, Pinner, United Kingdom. Spouse, David Furnish, M. 2014, David Furnish, M. 2005 to 2014, Renata Blowell, M. 1984 to 1988. Movies: Rocketman, Elton John, Rocketman, more. Full name: Elton Hercules John. Elton John, net worth $650 million. Personal life. Sexuality and family. In the late 1960s, John was engaged to be married to his first lover, Secretary Linda Woodrow, who is mentioned in the song "Someone Saved My Life Tonight." Woodrow provided financial assistance to John and Toppin at the time. John ended the relationship 2 weeks before their intended wedding, after being advised by Toppin and Long John Baldry. In 2020, John helped pay for Woodrow's medical fees upon her request, despite having lost contact with her 50 years previously. In 1970, right after his first U.S. shows in Los Angeles, California, he lost his virginity to and started his first gay relationship with John Reid, the Tamla Motown label manager for the UK, who later became John's manager. The relationship ended 5 years later, although Reid remained his manager until 1998. John married German recording engineer Renata Blowell on February 14, 1984, in an extravagant wedding ceremony at St. Mark's Church, Darling Point, Sydney, Australia. Blowell said she attempted suicide during their honeymoon in St-Tropez after John told her that he wanted to end the union. Their marriage ended in divorce in 1988. John stated, "She was the classiest woman I've ever met, but it wasn't meant to be. I was living a lie." In 2020, Blowell sued John for writing about their relationship in his 2019 Me, Elton John official autobiography, which she claimed broke the terms of their divorce agreement. The case was settled later the same year. Early life. Elton John was born Reginald Kenneth Dwight on March 25, 1947 in Pinner, Middlesex, now part of the London Borough of Harrow, the eldest child of Stanley Dwight, 1925 to 1991, and only child of Sheila Eileen, née Harris, 1925 to 2017. He was raised in a council house in Pinner by his maternal grandparents. His parents married in 1945, when the family moved to a nearby semi-detached house. He was educated at Pinnerwood Junior School, Redeford School and Pinner County Grammar School until he was 17, when he left just before his A-level examinations to pursue a career in music. When John began to consider a career in music seriously, his father, who served in the Royal Air Force, tried to steer him toward a more conventional career, such as banking. John has said that his wild stage costumes and performances were his way of letting go after a restrictive childhood. Both his parents were musically inclined, his father having been a trumpet player with the Bob Miller Band, a semi-professional big band that played at military dances. The Dwights were keen record buyers, exposing John to the popular singers and musicians of the day. John started playing his grandmother's piano as a young boy, and within a year his mother heard him picking out Waldteufel's The Skater's Waltz by ear. After performing at parties and family gatherings, at age 7 he began formal piano lessons. He showed musical aptitude at school, including the ability to compose melodies, and gained some notoriety by playing like Jerry Lee Lewis at school functions. At age 11, he won a junior scholarship to the Royal Academy of Music. According to one of his instructors, John promptly played back, like a gramophone record, a 4-page piece by George Frederick Handel after hearing it for the first time. Elton John, known then as Reg Dwight, studied at the Royal Academy of Music in London for 5 years. For the next 5 years, John attended Saturday classes at the Academy in central London, and he has said he enjoyed playing Frédéric Chopin and Johann Sebastian Bach and singing in the choir during Saturday classes, but that he was not otherwise a diligent classical student. "I kind of resented going to the Academy," he said. "I was one of those children who could just about get away without practicing and still pass, scrape through the grades." He has said that he would sometimes skip classes and ride around on the London Underground. Several instructors have attested that he was a model student, and during the last few years he took lessons from a private tutor in addition to his classes at the academy. He left the academy before taking the final exams. John's mother, though strict with her son, was more vivacious than her husband, and something of a free spirit. With Stanley Dwight uninterested in his son and often absent, John was raised primarily by his mother and maternal grandmother. When his father was home, the Dwights had vehement arguments that greatly distressed John. When he was 14, they divorced. His mother then married a local painter, Fred Fairbrother, a caring and supportive stepfather whom John affectionately called Durf, Fred Backward. They moved into flat number 3A in an 8-unit apartment building called From Court, not far from both previous homes. There John wrote the songs that launched his career as a rock star. He lived there until he had 4 albums simultaneously in the American Top 40. Career 1962 to 1969, pub pianist to staff songwriter. At age 15, with his mother's and stepfather's help, John was hired as a pianist at a nearby pub, the Northwood Hills Hotel, playing Thursday to Sunday nights. Known simply as Reggie, he played a range of popular standards, including songs by Jim Reeves and Ray Charles, as well as his own songs. A stint with a short-lived group called the Corvettes rounded out his time. Although normal-sighted as a teenager, John began wearing horn-rimmed glasses to imitate Buddy Holly. In 1962, John and some friends formed a band called Blissology. By day, he ran errands for a music publishing company. He divided his nights between solo gigs at a London hotel bar and working with Blissology. By the mid-1960s, Blissology was backing touring American soul and R&B musicians such as the Isley Brothers, Major Lance and Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells. In 1966, the band became Long John Baldry's supporting band and played 16 times at the Marquee Club.